Hi, this is Stephanie Miller from The Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from my show on Political Voices Network.
I'm here with my brunette beach butch body. I'm ready to go.
You are magical. By the way, you retweeted Eric Trump, who was saying how mean Katie Phang is, which I thought the tweet was funny. Katie Phang tweeted, "Don Jr.'s here today. I guess we know who lost the rock, paper, scissors battle." Just funny, not like whatever. So Eric said, "What a cruel and nasty comment by Katie Phang." This is the state. God, there's such snowflakes.
Yeah.
This is the state of our mainstream media attacking a son for supporting their father, as I have on countless days during this bogus sham of a trial. And you said it looks like Junior now goes by he, him, and they, them, there, according to Eric. See, you can use they, them for a singular person. Thanks, Eric.
And then it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
They're mad at him supporting their father. I'm like, even you all are doing it, so stop it with the pronoun police. My God.
And you had a moment, your joy was multiplied when you found that Eric Trump blocked you. You said, "I just found this out when I went to ratio him, and I can't stop laughing." Nicely done, man.
Even Mark
Nicely done.
Hamill congratulated me on it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
Yay, we're so proud of our little baby.
Oh, thank you. I grown up.
You are all grown up. Dana, I talked to Carl about this, and I saved this for you too. Speaking of pronouns, etc., this just broke my heart. Transgender teen booed after winning girls track race at a state championship. This is why we must go do Portland Sexy Liberal. We have to invite her and comfort her. She's, this bullying of kids by adults is something that I was saying seems new-ish to me, in the age of Donald Trump. So she won when she won, and then also when she got her gold medal, she got booed, and obviously people posted it online, and libs of TikTok bullied her, and as someone pointed out, this is why kids kill themselves. Is that, will you be happy then? And it just breaks my heart. I don't know if you heard about it.
I did, and it does mine as well. There's a couple other cases where the kids are just going up and they're intentionally scratching so they won't compete against their trans classmates. And it's just horrible because they learn that from their parents. And it's just unnecessarily bullying and humiliation. It does break my heart. I'm doing everything I can, obviously, on my end to fight this legislation with raising money for the organizations. But the damage is done the moment it happens. The moment a bill gets put forward and says that, trans people shouldn't have life-saving health care, or trans people shouldn't be able to participate in the sport with the gender they identify with. It's heartbreaking because no matter how illegal, unconstitutional it is, the damage is done the moment the bill's put forward. And I think that's what's most sad for me, is that people keep hearing over and over, your humanity is up for debate. Your humanity is up for debate.
Yeah.
And that's where it gets me.
Yeah. And also, I don't know why it gave me high school flashbacks. Is we all remember how sensitive we were when we were kids, when we were,
Yeah.
I was thinking, I remember I lost the class president by one vote or something. I think I cried for days, you just imagine being in this kid's head when he's hearing,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, she, oh my God, I didn't mean to misgender. She, and this is her moment of triumph, and,
Right.
and, she has to hear booing and,
Yeah.
and what that does to a kid's psyche, right?
Yeah, I mean, I know we're in a bit of an echo chamber. I'm sure there's some people that have different opinions on the issue of trans girls participating in girls sports. But obviously, where I stand on this. It's heartbreaking that the kids have stepped up the bullying, and it is because of the legislators. It is because of the adults. Children are taught hate. They're taught bigotry. They're not born this way. And so that's what's so frustrating for me, is that this is a generational problem that is starting to seep into our country. And when you said, listen, I was bullied when I was younger, probably because I was lesbian, or I was, more, I looked like a little boy for a long part of my life.
Yeah, me too.
So I know what that feels like. But to constantly be bullied because of how you identify, or just because you look different or act different, it's just it's heartbreaking. I don't even have anything positive or funny to say about it. I almost cursed. I'm so sick of the lies being spread about a community that is zero danger to society. In fact, they are they give so much to this world, in the arts and the theater and the sports and the music, And I just wish that they were being celebrated instead of demonized.
Here's the political problem, Dana. A majority of Americans, 69%, say trans athletes should only be allowed to compete on teams that correspond with the sex they were assigned at birth. But you know what it reminds me of? Do you remember what the polling used to be on gay marriage? I never thought gay marriage would happen in my lifetime.
I think it was at like 30% at one time, and
Right.
then and there was articles obviously coming out now.
You knew people. The more you knew, that's what the polling finally showed. The more you knew people, it was your favorite comedian or radio host or country singer
Absolutely.
or football player or whatever. So I have to hope, like you say, part of the problem is they are such a tiny percentage. You know, the fact that they're trying to make like this some huge problem in America. You know, but that also I think seems like part of the problem. Statistically, is not a lot of people know a trans person, right?
That's true, or they don't realize they do. And unfortunately, in our society, trans men pass a little more easily than trans women, just because like bone structure and the way that they are built is different. And so I think a lot of people probably have met trans people and don't even realize it. And then there's a conversation to be had if they find out they actually are a transgender human being, of why that changes your perception on them.
Yeah.
You know, those are the conversations that need to be had, and being able to see each other's humanity again. Because I guarantee people have come across trans people, I have zero idea that they are.
Yeah. You know, Pramila Jayapal has a trans child. And by the way, if anyone sees her in Seattle, would you please tell her to get in contact with us?
Yes,
we really
please.
want her to do panel in Seattle with us, as she has done before. June 1st, Sexy Liberal, Seattle. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, we'll see how big Steph Head Nation is, Chris, because I bet a lot of people are going to see her.
All right.
Okay, Dana.
Yes, dear.
Also, I should just say, not that, you know, stuff sticks with you when you're a teenager, but I only lost that election for president by like one vote, and Tim Regan beat me. And guess who his vice presidential candidate was? Tommy Nicholson, who was my high school boyfriend, who we broke up, and he betrayed me and ran with Tim Regan, and they won by like one vote, and we got back together, and I never let him forget that.
And that, everyone, is the story how Stephanie Miller became a lesbian.
Yep.
That's her origin story.
Tommy ended up being gay,
Sometimes
too.
we're born this way, sometimes it's an election in high school.
Not that you hold on to things that happened to you in high school. But
Not
anyway.
at all.
No, Tommy ended up being gay, too. And we were like, oh, we thought we weren't doing it because we were both Catholic. It's because we were both, oh.
Isn't it funny? So many of us found beards in high school. They were like, we like each other. We like each other. Let's keep each other safe. And then years later, it's like, yeah, I knew it. Yep, I knew it.
Yep. You made a good point on the Twitters, as you do. You said it's not his lawyers. It's not the court stopping him. Donald Trump chose not to testify in his own defense. I hope this is the first of many guilty verdicts. I know they always say you can't, you know, guess what a jury's going to do. But oh my God, what an overwhelming case against him, right?
Yeah.
It really is. I would literally, and this time I would be a bit shocked if justice wasn't served in this case. Something would have to go terribly wrong inside. There would have had to been some sort of a mole or someone who got on the jury
Yeah.
intentionally just to acquit him.
Yeah.
The case is overwhelming. And the way it's been set up legally, which is such a beautiful thing by the judge, is like, he just needs to be found guilty of one of three crimes. It doesn't, and the jury doesn't even have to agree on which one.
Yeah.
They just have to believe that he committed one of these three crimes. And I just think this case is overwhelmingly just bad for him. And putting that last lawyer on the stand probably tanked him. I mean, even more than he already was.
Oh my God,
You know,
they-
the emails speak for themselves.
Yeah, undermined by his own emails, and far from shredding Michael Cohen's credibility, he made Michael Cohen look much better. You know,
Yeah.
it just, I mean, it was obviously such a Hail Mary directed by Trump that just completely blew up in their faces, and he was an a-hole that irritated the judge and the jurors. I mean,
Yeah.
oh my God.
I mean, when the jury's sleeping through half of cross-examination, that's not a good sign. They're bored out of their mind.
I know.
Yeah.
By the way, we read Allison Gill, your partner's podcast partner, tweet that it is just, he's being, you know, of course he was such a racist. He said, the judge hates Donald Trump. Take a look at him. Take a look at where he comes from. And Allison said, Judge Aileen Cannon is also Colombian born. Right? So it just, Trump has one, you know, philosophy, one religion, and that's Trump. You know?
That's it.
Yeah.
It's bully. He's a bully. He's a bully. He's a bully.
And a
He's a
racist.
racist. He's a bigot. He's a misogynist. He's a rapist. He's a bully.
Yep. Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln.
Yeah. Other than that, he's a great guy. Invite him over to your parties, huh?
Oh, sure.
Huh?
Oh, yeah.
You also retweeted Allison, who said, reminder, fascists spend billions of dollars in dark money to make you think both sides are the same. Don't fall for it. Think critically. That's what I get. We talked to Dr. Redlener about despair. That's what they're hoping is we get depressed, we get despair. You look at Nikki Haley and you go, all politicians are just, and the people get turned off the whole process and voting and believing in justice, right?
Yeah, and it's also frustrating. Obviously, I don't think that this the war dividing our country right now in the Middle East is a coincidence. I think the timing is definitely set. I think that people are holding out on one side to not find peace, so that they can get Trump in office, so that his son can build on the coast of Gaza. Like all of this, I wish people understood. And so the other thing is the judiciary. Like there might be 2 Supreme Court openings in the next 4 years, and definitely in the next 8.
Yeah.
We've got to keep the White House.
Yeah.
And if you're going to do something, run ads that 2 of our Supreme Court justices are definitely compromised by apparently their wives in the January 6th insurrection or themselves, and we know the truth about it.
And, we were saying, we had Malcolm Nance on yesterday, and, half the people love what he says, half the people don't, think he doesn't care about kids being killed in Palestine. I can tell you he cares about Palestinian kids being killed, but it's just... I think we have to be so careful because it's such an emotional issue. And I think he said something about, college kids, a lot of they're misinformed. And I just think we have to be very careful about, like in any protest situation, of course some people are misinformed or, not good intentioned or whatever. But I think we have to be careful about calling college kids stupid because I think they're not. Some of them, I think, are getting bad information. But, it's just such an emotional issue. I think we have to, I was saying, they released... footage of the female hostages.
I didn't do that just now, did I?
What? No.
Oh God!
Oh no!
Okay.
You just brought up the issue of how
emotional
emotional this issue is.
Yeah.
And I mean, they brought up. They showed video of these bloodied female hostages that are still in Hamas custody, and how can you not feel for their loved ones? Can you imagine if that was your loved one? Yeah. You saw bloodied and clearly having been raped in a video?
I said this before. I am also a Jewish woman speaking for humanity. I want the killing of innocent civilians stopped as well, but I also want people to have empathy for both sides. You can't just forget October 7th happened.
My heart goes out to Rashida Tlaib. I don't like her rhetoric a lot of times, but my heart goes out to her wondering if her grandmother's going to be okay.
100%. I have friends that are Palestinian, and their posts sometimes they're hard for me because it is very one-sided at this point. And I just wish we would focus literally, and I know this sounds Pollyannish, but the only thing is peace. It's peace on both sides. That's the only way that this is going to end. And I do think the students should protest if they believe it, but the outside agitators that are coming in, we know they're part of them. They did it with the Black Lives Matter movement. They've done it with almost every protest because they see weaknesses in a place that they can continue to divide this country. It is not coincidence that Gen Z voted most in the midterms, and now Gen Z is the population we're worried about losing. They found a way to get them to turn, no matter what it is. And so that's the frustrating part for me is that they're doing what they want to do and they're dividing this country.